Good day, everybody. We wanted to introduce another new business to our Ask the Expert series. We want to talk to Vinicius from Studio Yellow. We're going to talk, we want to first introduce Vinicius. He's new to BC, so he's visiting from afar. I'll let him tell his story a little bit. But he's new to BC. His company is established here in the Lower Mainland, so we're very happy to have another great business in British Columbia, and of course, a new support local member as well too. So, Vinicius, tell us a little bit about your background and what made you decide to come to BC.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the introduction. I'm from Brazil. I've been living there my whole life. I started when I was very young, with 14 years old. I started building websites, and soon enough, my clients, I was delivering really great websites already, but I realized that they didn't have a brand that follows the same level of quality of what I was delivering. So soon enough, they started asking for me to create their brand, and then for the brand and the brochures, and then their presentation, their videos, their communication assets, and then I just keep evolving on how can I support business to present themselves and to communicate what they're doing to their audience. So that's how I got into the business. My first agency I opened when I was 16 years old. So I started very young, really. And then I earned a scholarship to study in Mackenzie University. While I was doing the university, I also did a summer course in London, a digital graphic design in the University of the Arts London. It was a very great course as well. And while I was in São Paulo, I opened my current agency, Studio Yellow. And since then, I've been working as a high standard creative studio. And well, today my definition is a premium branding web and is marketing agency, which is marketing stands for sales and marketing. So today I'm 40% about branding, 40% about web, and 20% about sales and marketing.
Okay,
So this is my background.
excellent. And now you're in BC. What have you noticed about businesses in BC?
Okay, that's great. Well, first of all, I choose to come to BC because, well, of all the nature. I love nature.
Mhm.
Brazil is really great on nature as well, but you having the possibility of having the mountains and have the beach and having this very rich nature, so be surrounded by this rich nature was something that was really go-to for me. And also because of the growing economy and um, how the economy is being developed here is also something that I was willing to give this step and to make this quantum leap on getting my agency to be an international agency. I was working with clients from the United States, from London, in Brazil, but I had to take a more serious step and move here to really understand the culture and to really get into business here. And what I realized so far, it's quite funny because I thought that here it will be way more advanced in terms of technology, in terms of marketing, but I'm just realizing that that's not the case. Looks like, and I mean, this is what makes here unique because at the same time that you have access to all of that I'm referring, but you also have this very strong community sense. So looks like people relies 100% on community, which is something beautiful to see. But at the same time, it gets them unprepared to certain situations and mainly losing market share that they could be taking if they were working more with marketing, with branding, and doing the right thing for them to establish a real, not only online, but online and offline presence by doing branding and marketing. So that's my finding so far. I've been here for 1 year and 2 months, and that's what I'm getting so far.
Yeah, excellent. So obviously you've got a lot of experience, and we talked before about some of the larger entities that you've worked for. Why small business now? Why is it that because what you've done is you've created information and packages and different things that are targeted towards, the small and medium sized business market. So why is that something that you're now interested in?
Okay. It's not only now that I'm interested in, because if you stop to think, the kind of business that needs the most what I do is the small and medium business, because they're just starting out. And this moment is crucial for your success. So when you're starting a company, if you get all the things that you need right, it's almost a certain that you are going to be successful. But if you don't get everything, you're just struggling with something that maybe you don't need to struggle with.
Right.
So if you have the right, like for example, for me, the number one problem for most of the companies, and not only here but also in Brazil and everyone else that I have been to, is positioning. So positioning works just like when you are organizing, I don't know, your desk or your a drawer or something like that. You are trying to find a category so you can put that in that box, and you're just categorizing everything that you can and choosing from. So next time I need something to cut a paper, I will look for a scissor that is in the box of the tools related to stationery, right? And that's exactly what happens with your audience. The way that you position yourself, they will automatically put you in a certain category box. And what comes with that is that they are going to compare you with the same segment. So if you are a let's say an agency, for example, like myself, and you say that you are doing I don't know, digital marketing, what are what you're creating for yourself, that everyone is going to compare you with the service that they know a digital agency offers, like for example SEO, paid ads, influencers, social media. So this comes in the same box. But if you are not that, and you are wrongfully positioning yourself as a digital agency, what happens is you're trying to pass a value for your audience, and they're not understanding because they're just trying to fit you in that category. So that's not what a digital agency does. You're trying to do something different, but you're positioning yourself in the wrong way. So then it doesn't make sense for your audience. And what happens today is usually you got like 3 seconds to convince a visitor that you are the right option for them. And if they don't immediately understand what you do and you get fitted into the right box right away, it's so much harder for you to become be the competitor that is going to take an advantage of this search, particular search that they are doing. So it's not about now that I want to work with small business. What happens is usually they are the one that needs what I offer. The only thing that we are a boutique agency, which means that we are also a small company in terms of the number of employees that I have, the number of projects that I can take on. So because we are a premium boutique agency, we have to work with smaller clients at the same time, even because the way that we engage in the process is very deep. So we don't do just a checklist and get it done. We are going to get engaged with the process. We are going to understand about your business. We are going to understand what your goals as a person, as an entity, and we're going to do a deep dive into everything we need to know in order to create your brand and to position yourself in the right box in the right way and create all the assets that is needed for you to be able to move forward. And it's not about ads only, for example. It's much more about when you meet someone and you are trying to get a deal with them. Probably what happens is they will talk to you, and after that they were gonna check out your communication, your website, your social media, and you want to make sure that the impression that they have about you is the right one, and that you're positioning yourself as the best option that they have at that time for that specific demand that they have. So it's much more about helping people that doesn't know how to position. That's, of course, this is something very technical. So the majority of people doesn't know how to really position a company, because if they do, if they get this starting point right, everything else will become easier. The sales, the marketing, the effort that they need to close a deal. So everything comes before that, right? So it's really a matter of starting right to make your life easier. But today, what most people does is that they go straight into marketing and they start inviting people to come over. And then they don't realize that their brand, their website, their communication general are not ready to get that kind of attention. And then it's okay, because marketing always generate results. Some of the people will buy and some of them will not. The question is, how much could you be profiting more if you had the right assets in place? How much more ROI are you able to pull out of this investment if you have the right position, if you have the right foundation? And that's pretty much what I do. What I always say is not the growth that makes you look big. You have big companies, and you if you see just the website or their communication, you could say that is just something that is starting out or something that is not serious enough. And when you go visit the client, they have a huge factory with several clients, and they're generating millions of revenue. So it's not growth that makes you look big. It's looking big that fuels your growth. Because for people to buy from you, they have to trust you. And then the way that you can generate that trust before, of course, you get to know and talk and show something is just by the way you look, right? So that's pretty much what our superpower. We can revamp companies, making them look good, make them look great, so when you are starting any conversation, they know right away that you are the right fit for them.
Yeah, and that's one of the challenges that, our small and medium-sized businesses is they need to look big in the digital space. They need to look bigger even than they are sometimes in order to, kind of cut through the noise and be able to establish themselves in that space that's so crowded these days and so on. So Studio Yellow is one of our newest members, and we're welcoming Vinicius to our Ask the Expert series as well here as our expert specifically on branding, but on other forms of marketing as well too, especially in this space. So, welcome to BC,
Thank
and
you.
we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you so much.